Only you get to determine if you are high value. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you saw from the title, we're discussing the very trendy topic, how to become a high value woman, or how to be a high value woman. I have my own perspective and opinion on this subject, and I'm really excited to share with you guys because I think it's going to change the way that you see this whole trend about being a high value woman and how to become a high value woman. The number one tip is the most important, and in my opinion, if you don't have this one, then all of the rest of them don't even really matter and they don't even count. So tip number one, and that is she knows her worth. A high value woman knows that she is worthy. A woman who knows that she's worthy. And honestly, the reason why I love this so much is because I feel like we have to get to the point where we don't allow other people to determine our worth. No one else gets to determine whether you are a high value woman. Only you get to determine if you are high value. So that is why this tip is the most important and why it is number one, because you have to know within yourself that you are high value. We are all born worthy, and it is our responsibility to remember, to accept, and to know our inherent worthiness, because when you know you're worthy, you show up different in all areas of your life, and you carry yourself in a way that gives off an energy of being valuable because you know your inherent value. And your value really doesn't come from the outside. And that is why this is the most important thing for people to understand, is that it is your knowingness, it is your belief, it is your remembrance of your worthiness that determines your high value. That is why I'm stressing this one so much. And whether you are a guy or a girl, you were born worthy, you are enough, okay? Okay, let's move on to number two. All right, and then moving on to tip number two. A high value woman is someone who knows how to set boundaries for herself. This is very important because it kind of ties in with step number one, or tip number one, and that is knowing your worth. When you set boundaries for yourself, I feel it is showing other people how to love you and how to treat you. Because if you don't have boundaries, if someone is in your life and say you're in a relationship and you have no boundaries of what is acceptable and what is unacceptable, the other person's going to mirror that back to you. They're going to push your boundaries or push your boundaries that you don't have, and then you're going to notice you start to feel resentment, you start to feel angry. Those are all signs that you don't have strong boundaries. And that is why I chose this as number two, because in order to be a high value woman, you have to have boundaries for yourself, because you know that in order for you to be happy in relationships, in jobs, in your life, you have to have boundaries. And another way to see boundaries is having a sense of self, being able to draw the line between where you are and where I am, and what's acceptable, what I will accept from others, and what I accept from myself. It's kind of like a little personal bubble per se. Moving on to number three, and that is having self-awareness. I feel like this is another one that is so important for all people, and especially if you want to show up as high value, being someone who knows who they are, someone who has the awareness of what they like, what they don't like, what they're willing to accept from others. Once again, tying back to number two, having a sense of boundaries, but being someone who knows themselves. And in order to have self-awareness and to know yourself, you're gonna have to spend some time by yourself, meaning you spend time taking yourself out on a date, or you're spending time in meditation, you're taking yourself on walks, getting to know yourself on a much deeper level. This is more than just, oh, I self-care and I go get pedicures and I do this and I do that. No, get to know yourself at a deeper level. Do the shadow work. Do the therapy if that's what you need. Get to know yourself at a deeper level because it's going to bring a different type of confidence to you. Tip number 3, self-awareness. Very important, and I personally believe this makes you a high-value person in general. Tip number 4 is taking care of your health and your body. The reason why I put this so high on the list is because I feel that when you take care of your health and your body, you start to believe within yourself that you are worthy. It's like the action steps that slowly but surely change your subconscious and that change your mind into believing, I am worthy. I am worthy of taking care of my health. I deserve to be a healthy person. I deserve to be sexy. I deserve to be a goddess who walks around and is confident in herself. And this goes, once again, I'm not just talking to women here, I'm talking to all people. When you take care of your body and you take care of your health, you show up in a different way. You start to radiate in a different way because you are taking the time every day to feed and fuel your body in a way that is healthy. And of course, this is gonna make you have more energy, it's gonna make you glow, and the same thing goes for exercise. You know, we all know that movement and sweating and all these things are healthy for us. So why not do it? So take care of your body, take care of your health. The actions that you take are going to show other people how you respect you, how you love you. So show yourself that you love you by taking care of yourself. Tip number 5. This one has to do with having a growth mindset. I believe that this is so important because if you are someone who is always focusing on how you can become a better person, or someone who is constantly working to evolve, to not from a place of I'm not good enough, not from a place of I'm not worthy, but from a place of we're always trying to become or grow into the next best version of ourselves. And I believe that the universe is always expanding, everything is always changing, and I think that's kind of the whole point of life in general, is to push the limits of what we think we're capable of. Don't want to be moving from a place of, oh, I'm never good enough, and I'm never going to be good enough, so I'm constantly trying to heal, or I'm constantly trying to be better because I don't feel inherently worthy, or I don't feel good enough within myself, so I'm always trying to chase something. There's a difference when you move from a place of worthiness and you're inspired to become more, you are expanding into the next best version of yourself versus moving from a place of feeling like you're not good enough. Because you're going to notice that you start to sabotage yourself if you go down that route versus moving from a place of self-love. So hopefully that helps. Now let's move to number 6, is someone who gives love freely. Or in the case of this video, you are a woman who gives love freely, meaning that you are so full within yourself, your cup is so full that you are overflowing love to other people, to other things. You're literally showing up as a light being. You are someone who's so full of love within yourself that you want to give love away. You want to spread love in all of the interactions that you have with other people in your life. And I believe that this makes you a high value person because this world can benefit so much from having more loving people. So someone who gives love freely to me is a very valuable human being. So I love this one. All right, number 7 is having your own life. I think that it is so important as a woman to be able to have your own things going for you. This is obviously in terms of a job or a career. This is also in terms of friendships, in terms of your family relationships, but also in terms of hobbies. This kind of goes back to, once again, like the other steps that I was talking about when it comes to getting to know yourself, like self-awareness. You have to know what really makes you passionate. You have to know what lights the fire within you. What is it that you love to do? What is the difference that you want to make? Because we all have a purpose. We all have something that we came here to do, and every person is unique. So having your own life means that you are not going to be codependent on other people to make you happy because you have your own establishment. All right, number 8. This kind of ties into number 7 as well, but it is a woman who feels happy on her own. I think that it is so important for all of us to be happy with ourselves before we get into a relationship, or even just in general. Like what we're striving for, at least it seems like most of us are striving for happiness. And happiness really does come from within you. There can be two different people sitting and looking at the same projection of reality. One person could be completely miserable and see all the negative. The other person could look at it and be full of gratitude and be like, wow, what a beautiful life. It really does come from your perspective on life and how you feel about yourself. So I really do think it is important for us to cultivate and to build happiness from within, and to build a connection to ourselves to where we truly are happy on our own, because that is what's going to make other people want to be around you, and it's going to make you a high value person. People are going to respect you more, and you're going to radiate a light, you're going to radiate love, because you're coming from a place of happiness, and it's internal happiness and not necessarily circumstantial happiness, meaning that everything on the outside of you has to be perfect in order for you to be happy. And a big thing that helps with this, I truly believe, is gratitude. Practicing gratitude in your life will make you a happier person. Number 9, I really love this one a lot, and that is a woman who has intelligence. I believe that intelligence is so attractive. Being someone who can hold a conversation, someone who has interests that are beyond just, hey, it's really nice weather we're having outside. I find it so intriguing when someone is very intelligent. That is something that is very attractive to me personally, and I feel like it makes you a very high value person. Once again, if you are someone who has intelligence. And intelligence, in my opinion, can show up, I feel like intelligence shows up in many different ways. You could be someone who's book smart. Maybe you're really good at science, or you're good at math, or you're really smart when it comes to writing poetry. It could be so many different things. But I think it's you being good at something, or even just masterful at something, showing that you have some sense of intellect. I feel like this can also relate with emotional intelligence as well. So not just intellectually being a smart person, but also being emotionally intelligent. Someone who knows how to respond in situations and who is also emotionally mature. That is something that is very attractive, and I think that makes you a very high value person. So intelligence for me, across the board, amazing. Yes, intelligence is sexy. Tip number 10 is that you are fun to be around. This is kind of like a no-brainer one for me, and that is that you are just a fun person to be around. You have good energy. People love to be around you because you have such a good vibe. When you notice that people are starting to compliment your energy and they are always wanting to be around you, that's a good sign that you have a good energy. Someone who's able to walk into a room and the room lights up because you are so bright and so fun to be around. A woman who is able to let down her guard and to just be able to ebb and flow. Someone who likes to laugh and who isn't easily angered all the time. And I think that this step naturally, I think you being a fun person to be around naturally comes when you cultivate all of these other steps that I talked about in this video. If you're practicing gratitude, if you have self-awareness, if you're able to set boundaries for yourself, and you just learn to cultivate such a deeper sense of self and a sense of self-love within you, you're going to be a fun person naturally. People are naturally going to gravitate toward you. You're going to be magnetic because you are feeding yourself. And that is so important. Filling your own cup, because once again, tying it all back to number 1, you have to know within yourself that you are worthy. And when you believe you're worthy, you're going to show up. You're going to take the action steps that show yourself. Once again, it's like a loop. Belief in yourself, and then you take the actions that reaffirm those beliefs. I am worthy. Now show up for yourself. Take the action steps that prove to you that you are worthy, and you're going to just create a beautiful cycle of more abundance, more love, more blessings, and more fulfillment in your life. And that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I would love if you guys would join the fam, so subscribe for more videos. Give the video a like because it does help my channel. I appreciate it. And there will be a lot more content coming from me. I post every Wednesdays, and I would love to see you guys in my next video. Bye!